Great. So, ladies and gentlemen, very big welcome to DEN203 IT Strategy and Management. Today, we are, already in week 7. We are going to be discussing 2 chapters. We're going to discuss chapter 7 and chapter 8, and obviously, we are going to be discussing that thing further as we move along next to the webinars. Chapter 7, determining the business information system strategy, and chapter 8 is managing the portfolio of all of these business applications. I want to just make a very quick comment that is really important regarding to the assignment. If there's any particular issues I need to go and bear in mind in terms of, the similarities in your assignment, I need you to make sure if there's a problem relating with your assignment that I need to go and deal with, you need to make sure you let me know about it, because I have seen a number of issues in the assignments, as I said earlier, and that's something we need to go and make sure we are going to be sorting out very quickly.
I got a problem in assignment.
All right, we'll discuss that at the end of the session today, my friend, when I finish my recorder.
Yep.
So remind you that the teaching team is available on Moodle. So there's me and other people, working in the team. So if there's anything you need, please make sure you check Moodle for all the consultation time that is available at any point of time. And please, it's something very important to remind you of the copyright, guys. And I was just surprised, around 6 or 7 assignments so far that I've seen very high similarity. I've seen copying from other people. I've seen issues that I should not be seeing in any assignment. And these are issues that I've seen in the past, result in people getting zeros on their assignment or getting big penalties and being recorded on the academic misconduct register, things that should never, ever occur. That's why we've been communicating for many weeks that you need to start working on your assignment. And it's very surprising when I go and see that some similarity, some copying did occur. The majority did the right thing, and that's really well done, and I really appreciate that. But obviously there was some minority issues with the assignments that had to go and be escalated. So something we need to go and be discussing further and seeing what we need to do with that. Previously, in the previous webinar, we went and we discussed a number of aspects. We discussed the importance of achieving and sustaining an advantage over various investments. We spoke about strategic investment, operational investment, high potential investment. We spoke about all of these various areas where investment must be conducted to enable us to go and really reach the right outcome. We also spoke, we need to look at all of our products and services, and we need to go and say, well, how can I go and try to deliver more value in terms of the products and services that I have available? Can we go and try to, for example, incorporate information as part of all of these products and services to help us to go and really get the right outcomes we would like to go and provide? We spoke about the analysis of all of these various comparative forces that are available outside the organization and inside the organization. They help me identify any opportunities for investments and any threats that are available. So we think about the outside world, outside business, external business in terms of what's happening in the industry and what's happening inside my business, but also we need to go and look at the information system and IT that is available outside and inside, and taking actions accordingly to be able to go and drive the changes that are important within the organization. We speak about all of these analysis we need to do. We analyze the value chain, we analyze the value network, we analyze the internal chain. We basically analyze the customer lifecycle management, all of these stages that the customer goes through when they are going to go and be buying a particular product. And through all of these things we've basically been saying, it is about really what do we go and do in relation to bringing all of those people together and analyzing all of this information together to try to understand all of these opportunities that we need to go and really work on, and all of these threats that we need to go and really manage. We spoke also the use of value chain analysis, how it's important, how we need to go and build our capability to keep on making all of these analysis that is needed to help us really go and get the job that we would like to go and really get. So many topics we spoke about earlier, and we're going to go and build on those. Now, today we are going to start talking about, chapter 7, the business strategy. and information system and IT. How are they basically really linked together? We're speaking about the tools for IS and IT strategy formulations, and what is the relationship between all of those tools. Can we kind of go and bring them all together into one sort of system to bring the frameworks to have an integrated system of work? We talk about a framework for using the tools and techniques effectively. We talk about identifying how IS and IT could really impact our business strategy. We talk about establishing the relative priorities for IS and IT investment. There are things that will be more important to go and implement than others at a particular point of time. So we really need to know about those items and try to go and make sure we address them. We talk about the, in large organizations, multiple, strategic business units. We talk about, all of these consolidation of strategy that needs to go and occur. How do we kind of get, our functional strategy, our strategic business unit strategy, our large organization corporate strategy, how do we kind of go and make sure they are really incorporated and consolidated in an appropriate manner? So when I talk about business strategy and IS and IT, we talk about both alignment and impact. And there are two essential things when I'm building an IS and IT strategy. When I talk about alignment, it needs to be aligning with my short-term priorities, what I'm actually doing now in the next, probably, 3 months to probably a year. They need to be in alignment, in terms of what needs to go and really happen. When I talk about impact, we talk about generally an impact that I need to go and measure. And usually it's very hard for you to go and measure the impact unless you go and look and you take a sort of medium to long-term horizon in terms of the way you go and look at things. But I need to go and be operating in an appropriate manner today. I need to be working efficiently today. But at the same time, I need to be able to be implementing things that are going to deliver the value that is needed. And that's more in terms of the medium term all the way to the long-term horizon. We need to seek an alignment between my business systems and IS and IT strategies. Whatever the actual business system, whatever the strategies, they need to be really, really aligned. It's really about how do I go and interpret what is my business strategy? Because my business strategy will help me identify what information I need. And my information that I need will help me to go and understand what is an information system demand. And the information system demand will help you to identify what is the IT supply strategy. How can I go and get something to go and be delivered by having things that I need going and really delivered to me? So I need to create that alignment between my business and my IS and IT strategies. If there's no alignment, it is basically meaning that I'm basically implementing and using IS and IT that is not really delivering what the business really wants at any particular point of time. We need to use so many various tools to be able to go and try to create that IS and IT strategy formulation. The main factors that influence the balance of an application portfolio for any business are the following. We need to consider what are we going to do in the business? What will help me? Well, first of all, there's external factors and there's internal factors. When I talk about external factors, there are long-term factors and short-term factors. When I talk about internal factors, there are, again, long-term factors and short-term factors. When I talk about externally, what is basically a long-term aspect that could influence on what I do in terms of the IS and IT strategy? Well, what's the economic situation like? What is the business environment like? Is there a lot of competition in that environment that is potentially pushing me to go and try to make all of these changes that someone is basically considering? What about what's happening externally in the short term? Well, what IS and IT environments are available outside of my business? What are people using outside my business today in terms of IT? And what information are people today generating outside my business by using that information technology? We also need to think about internally what is happening in my business. What's happening in my own business environment inside the business? What's happening within the organization? What are we trying to go and deliver? And we also have to go and think about the short term. What is our current capability? IS and IT capability, applications portfolio capability. What do I have today? And what is what I have today capable to help me to go and deliver for my organization. I need to go and try to really get to a stage where I am going to go and follow some sort of framework that will enable me to identify what investments I need to be making, existing applications that I need, a required application, and a potential application. And this is a framework really that I think it could relate to one question in your assignment. But that framework, what it does is basically allow you to try to incorporate all of these things I've been covering throughout the first 6 weeks into how do we use them all together to be able to go and try to make the analysis and the alignment between business and IS and IT investment. So what we need to do, if we go and look at appraisal of my IS and IT as it basically relate to my current business situation and strategy, what this will tell me, it really gives me information about what is my existing applications. What am I currently using in my business today? When I go and start thinking about assessing the need for immediate IS and IT investment, 3 to 12 months, potentially operational needs, for example, that basically will go and tell me, okay, what is the required applications I need to go and really investing in? When I start thinking more about the long term and innovation and long term thinking and that innovativeness that we spoke about in the previous weeks, we start thinking about what are we going to be doing between the 6 months and all the way 2 to 3 years in the future to be able to get a particular outcome. So we need to identify immediate, medium, and long-term investment priorities that are needed. And that's all what we call the potential IT investment. So we need to really try to make our analysis, and our analysis needs to be across more than one stages. What we currently have, our existing applications, what applications do we need to be operationally working efficiently between the next 3 to 12 months sort of focus, and what is basically, a lot more, it could relate to the strategic long-term investments, what are the potential applications we need, and that's more focused about the 6 months to 2 to 3 years investments that we need to go and think about. So we need to really identify how IS and IT could really impact on the business strategy. And the only way for us to be doing that is to be able to go through many of these aspects. These aspects here: understand the industry, interpret the business factors, consider the potential digital impact. All of these things are really what is listed here. This is basically 2 components. This is basically half of the stuff that I need to go and do to be able to go and really identify how IS and IT could impact the business strategy. But then if you want to establish the relative priorities for investment, then you look at those bottom items. They basically think about the relative priorities of my investment. What do we go and really invest in? But in summary, if you want to go and identify how IS and IT could really impact on the business strategy, well, we need to make a lot of understanding. We need to understand the industry that is available. We need to understand the comparative forces around us. We need to consider the potential IS and IT impact that is basically available, its impact on industry, its impact on the competition, what could happen because of IS and IT. We need to go and interpret our business objective and strategy. What are we trying to go and do as a business? What are we trying to go and deliver? We need to determine what are the critical success factors, not simply by thinking about my strategy, but also thinking about what is happening all around me and how things are changing all around me and what I need to go and potentially do accordingly. We need to assess the potential impact of digital technologies on industry products and services. Are they, for example, going to be making our products more, more valuable by through the provision of all of this information that are able to go and actually provide? We need to analyze the industry, all of these people we interact with, the value network, the value chain we spoke about last week, and the information implications. What information do they need? If I'm going to go and make a change, what information I need to change, or what system I need to change, or what investments I need to change for that information to be able to go and be flowing throughout my value chain and throughout my network. We need to understand how IS and IT could change the structure of the industry's value system and the firm's value proposition. For example, a company might be, like the music, people used to go and have all of these CDs, and many companies used to be successful, and whole industries were changed. The taxi industry has changed. Now you have Uber. The food delivery system has changed. Now you have Uber Eats. You know, you're talking about the hotel way we operate has changed. Now you have, not sure what it's called, but there's like, you know, you can go to, it's not stays, but you know, there's all of these people could go and, you know, put all of their jobs or just all of their properties on the website, and based on that, people are able to go and rent them without having to go and even go through a hotel. So you see, many industries are actually changing the way we are actually going and operating, and that's really a lot of benefits that is basically available through the use of all of these information system and IT changes. We need to assess our current capabilities. What do we currently have? What are our strategic assets? What are our competencies? What are we actually able to go and do? So we need to really understand, you know, the impact of IS and IT strategy potentially based on what I'm doing now and based on all of these things that are really changing all around me. We also need to go and establish the priorities for investments. You know, there's so many things you can invest in. But which one is more priority? Which one is more important for me to go and really work on and for me to go and really invest at any particular point of time? I need to analyze the internal value chain. I need to understand the business models, how we operate. We need to understand all of these organizational relationships. Who do we basically have contacts with, you know, inside and outside the organization? We need to identify which processes are critical and which activities are critical and their implications for the business process model. Are they really affecting the model a lot? If we make changes, are they going to have an impact on the model and how we are operating? We need to identify and assess new options for investments. There's many of them, but which one is going to go and generate for me the maximum value in comparison to the other options that are currently available in the market? We need to determine the future application portfolio. And that's not simply the short-term investment, medium-term investment, and long-term investment that basically will help you to go and get the right outcome. Business information system demand, because it needs to be driven by what the business really wants us to go and really do. When I'm having a large organization, multiple strategic business units, we need to think about how can we create what we call a strategy consolidation. We must identify the extent to which standardization of application and information integration would really improve competitiveness. If we're going to become more integrated, is that going to be better for us? If we're going to have the same standard applications everywhere, is that going to be better for us? Is that going to give us all of these benefits that other people, you know, the corporate benefits, and it's going to go and drill potentially all the way as benefits to all of these various strategic business units? We need to go and try to think how we could benefit. For example, if we find a weakness or a threat for one particular business unit, we may be able to go and overcome that particular problem by transferring knowledge to other business units or transferring other capabilities. Oh yeah, we identified this issue, we solved it. You can do the same thing. We're going to transfer this knowledge and this information and those systems for you to be able to go and try to gain the benefits that we personally were able to go and gain ourselves. Any of the techniques at any stage of the process could reveal such cross-unit opportunities. How can we benefit from each other? So all results should be pooled and made available to others, and we help other people to adapt their processes, to adopt what we do, to join in with us on the projects if it is basically appropriate for them to go and do so. But we need to really go and get that benefits from all of these big networks that we work with, including our own organization, a large organization, our business units. How are we going to create that consolidation to be able to go and really reach a lot of our benefits? Any questions, guys, on the first chapter? All right, guys. Now, if we're talking about the next chapter, we have all of these portfolio that we need to go and make portfolio of a lot of investments that are important. So we're going to talk about first the conclusions from all of these various portfolio of investment models that get created out there for us to use. We classify the applications that are available in the portfolio in terms of various categories. we need to reconcile demand and supply issues in the portfolio. What do we need and what are the issues in the supply of whatever we need? Generate application management strategies. How do we manage all of these applications? Portfolio management principles applied to the application portfolio. For example, what sort of people needs to go and be managing various items in the portfolio, matching the characteristics of the investment with the characteristics of the person who will basically need to go and manage that investment. We're going to mention a special case of the enterprise systems, and we're going to manage the applications portfolio in multi-unit organizations. This is the topics we're going to be mentioning and discussing further in the webinar. But simply, guys, there are many metrics sort of models that looks like this. And they kind of try to tell you, oh, you need to make various type of investment within the organization. And this is a model that we've seen way early in the course. We speak about, how you make a lot of investments, you make support investment, key operational investment, high potential investment, and strategic investments. And if we are looking here at the bottom here, it's not, it's like the sort of application that are not very important for our current business and not very important for our future business. But you talk on other areas, there will be potentially other opportunities that we need to go and really bear in mind. But what we basically know from all of these various portfolio models, that there are differences in how applications in each portfolio needs to be planned and managed. The way we manage operational sort of aspects is different than the way we manage strategic aspects is different how we manage high potential aspects. While we might be thinking about high potential, we might be going and making, trying to go and identify a sport of innovation model, that thing I've discussed last week, the whole funnel, how things move through stages. You get an idea, you start exploring it, you get all the way to implementing that idea and potentially assimilate it in terms of the way we go and work within the organization. But the way we manage each one of those quadrants doesn't get managed in the same manner. We need to know how do we manage them. They are all different. And we need to bear in mind that, yes, it's great to create the matrix, but not all ideas that we want to go and try to invest and work in an organization will potentially fit in that particular matrix. There might be other areas of investment that might not actually fit with this metric structure. Metric analysis, guys, approaches reduce the infinite continuum of alternatives to something that is manageable. You say, okay, this is what I have in a portfolio. We'll manage that many items. Instead of putting 1,000 and you can't manage them all, we say, all right, we're going to be working now on 5 strategic, 5 high potential, 5 operational, 5 support, because we know we are able to go and make the investments onto those particular categories. We have enough resources to be able to go and really reach that particular benefits we would like to go and reach from there. If you go and look, this is an example of a portfolio for a manufacturing company. What are they going to be investing in? Well, they're going to be investing in strategic projects, high potential, key operational, and support projects. Okay, so you look at this asterisk. All right, what is that? This is their existing system is satisfactory. Well, advertising and promotion campaign management, that is satisfactory. Okay, great. Parenthesis, existing system needs improvement. Well, the sales analysis and forecasting is not very good. We need to improve that. Something that is planned. We are planning to have a customer relationship marketing system. Potential problem. We are having a product profitability analysis problem that we need to go and sort out. So you can see here that they're basically identifying the various sort of categories that fit in each category. If something is strategic, you might have everything going great. You might have a great investment. You might have a system that is satisfactory. You might have a system that is not working well. You might have a system that you need to go and implement. You might have a problem that is available. And all of these things you need to be aware of to be able to understand what needs to go and be happening at any point of time in any of these investments. The big mistake we might make is we go and make all of our investment fits in one category, such as I'm going to go and make all of my investments to be in a strategic level in a way that I am going to be forgetting everything about, let's say, operational improvements that I might need to go and start implementing, or I might not think about all the support activities that I need to go and work on to be able to go and get the job done. So we need to try to create that sort of investment that we are going to be working on the right thing to be able to really get the right outcome. When I'm going and looking at all of these particular outcomes, items in the portfolio investment, we basically have to go and reconcile demand and supply issues in the portfolio. If we look at the strategic, why are we doing it? Why do we want to do it in the strategic items, terms? What does the system need to do to gain the advantage? How is it best for us to do that particular work? Key operational, why do we do it? Because our performance needs to be improved. And if we don't improve it, we're going to have a disadvantage, which we need to go and try to avoid. What actually has to improve and by how much I need to go and improve it? We need to get the right measurement. How is it best for me to go and make that improvements that needs to go and really be done? When I talk about high potential, well, we don't know why we're doing it. We don't know what, in what terms, or what does the system needs to go and do. And we don't know how is it best for us to do it, because it's all a potential. It's all something we are considering to go and really invest in to be able to go and reach the outcomes we would like to go and reach. In terms of support, why are we doing it? Well, we are doing it because we're going to reduce our cost by basically making ourselves more efficient. What are we doing? Well, what of existing necessary tasks? What actually has, if we look at all of these necessary tasks we need to go and really look at, that's what we basically have to go and really try to do. What the existing tasks that are necessary. How? Well, how best for us to be able to go and really do that particular aspect. So we need to try to decide how we go and do that. But really simply, we need to know why we're doing something, what we need to do, and we need to measure what needs to be done, and how do we go and actually do it. What does the system need to do? That's our demand. How do we do it? That's our supply. So you need to kind of match what is needed to what is basically going to be supplied for us at a particular point of time. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we need to really look at the sort of investments we are able to go and make. This is a generic application management strategies that basically a sample, if you want, of how can we go and manage all of these various items that are available. So, ladies and gentlemen, if we talk about Parsons described 5 strategies that were prevalent as a means by which organization linked the management of IS and IT to their corporate or to their business management processes. They said, well, we need to try to see how we kind of link ourselves to the organizations. We either have everything centrally planned, we either have things like leading edge, we have free market, we have monopoly, or we have an environment where there is scarce resources. And what will happen in that model, and we'll discuss that further in the webinar, is they talk about there are various roles that people need to go and play in terms of any sort of investment. Centrally planned, well, you have organizational requirements, you have IT role, you have line managers and users have to go and be playing various role in that particular system. But if I was to give you an example, if you think about the free market, it's where we are allowing all of these functional managers and business users, we are enabling them to go and really identify, source and control IS and IT development and some of their operation. They can basically go and decide how it's basically been done. They try to go and have the ability to make their investment that I believe is going to go and be necessary. In contrast, if you go and think about monopoly is different. Monopoly is where basically the corporate goes and say, okay, guys, we need to go and do things in this particular manner, and we're not going to be changing accordingly. That's basically what you need to go and follow, because that is really what our top organization says we need to go and invest and work in, and that's exactly what we are going to be doing, because it's basically a monopoly that we must basically follow that thing. So you basically have a lot of time where you have a free market and you are allowed to go and really choose whatever investments you would like to go and do in whatever applications you need to go and work on. But that's not really available all the time. Some organizations have very scarce resources. They can't actually, like, information is a limited resource and must be used efficiently. And we can't basically allow everybody to go and use and do whatever they would like at a particular point of time. So when we're thinking about all of these portfolio of management principles, we think about where are we going to be making our investments. So we think about all of these things I'm mentioning here, support, high potential, strategic,
key operational. We need to think about all of these areas, and we need to go and make sure we are having the right investments in place for our high potential, for our strategic, for our operational, and for our support. And not simply, we need to make sure we have the right investments that is available for us. We also need to go and make sure we are aligning the management style of people who need to go and manage what we're trying to go and actually implement with this category of investments we're trying to go and make. For example, if you're thinking about something like a high potential, we need someone who is really innovative, someone who likes to see change and like to see innovation, because in the high potential, it's trying to go and innovate and try to find new ways and new items we can go and explore to go and work through. And that's basically what we need to go and really bear in mind to be able to go and get the right outcomes. This is a special case, guys, of the enterprise system. A lot of time we have an enterprise system that basically connect the whole organization together. And a lot of time the way that you go and implement the enterprise system, you connect the whole organization together. You don't simply implement it as one go, but you implement it as multiple goes. And that's really what this model is telling you. It's telling you initially we have this overall business strategic intent. We know what we want to go and do. We know what is a problem. We know what are the constraints. And what we do, we try to create a enterprise system strategic intent. What is it trying to go and really do for us? We plan based on that strategic intent. And based on that, we'll try to implement phase one. And we have a basically new baseline, a new system that is implemented, that is working fine, and that does not have any issue that we need to go and really be aware of. Now you implement that, it's working well, but the environment goes and change. So your job is to go and actually change accordingly with what is changing in the environment. So you have a future vision, you have things that are changing. So if there is a future business vision, if there are changes, I need to go and try to revise my executive enterprise system vision. I need to go and start making changes. I need to go and revise what the system needs to go and do. I need to go and re-implement, replan, and re-implement, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. So you make sure you are making the adjustments that are needed for your enterprise system for it to continue really working efficiently and delivering the outcomes we would like it to go and really be able to go and deliver for us. Now, when we are managing applications portfolio in multi-unit organizations, we need to think, how can we benefit from each other? For example, if I go and find a great idea that is high potential, I need to share that idea. I need to share my results. I need to share my evaluations, my prototype. I need to really communicate that information to other business units for them to be able to go and really benefit from that potential information. In terms of support, what do I need to do? I need to achieve economies by sharing non-critical systems and standardization on technologies and resource used. Let's constrain. Let's not use the same thing over and over again and more than one particular problem. Let's basically go and create that potential constraint that is really needed. Strategic. I need to go and capitalize, evaluate how advantages gained in one unit can be obtained in other places, in other units. How can we capitalize on all of these benefits that we could deliver? Transfer experience in use of applications and technology across units. Reduce duplication of IS and IT effort. Let's control. That's more about the key operational things. So you see, we're not going to simply go and try to leave benefits to be simply capitalized and saved in my organization only. It's about how do I go and create more and more to integrate a lot of this work in terms of all of these other areas of the business and making sure everybody is really benefiting. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to stop for a second and ask, do you have actually any questions about what I've covered so far in the lecture?
No, sir.
Anyone? Okay. Does everybody know what they need to do for their group assignment? And do they know where the information is about the group assignment? And they know who their groups is for the group assignment? Is there
No,
anyone
sir.
here who doesn't know?
I don't know, sir.
You don't know. Okay, that's fine. Let's just stop for a second. Just that question is very, very good because a number of people ask me. All what you do is you fill the cover sheet, you fill all the details, you get it ready, then you take a screenshot of it. And once you take a screenshot, you put it in your Word document and you submit your final file.
Okay. Can you just add the next document, or we can attach on that same assignment?
No, you do it on the same document. So you take a screenshot and you put it in the same Word document because you can only submit one file. And that cover sheet needs to be in that one file.
Okay, sir.
No worries. But if you haven't done it, because I don't want to get late submission penalties. So that's why if you haven't done it for this assignment, leave it as is, and then we'll work with it accordingly.
Yeah, I have already submitted my assignment, so that I can replace the assignment again.
No, you leave it because otherwise it's going to show as late submission, and then you'll get a penalty. I don't want to do that.
Okay, sir. So I think
All
it's better to create the new one, like cover sheet. We used to paste the cover sheet assignment in the next.
In the next assignment, in the group assignment. Yeah, that's what you need to do.
Okay, sir.
No
Hi,
worries.
sir.
Yes,
So I
now.
think in the group assignment there is like presentation as well. So do we have to do the same time or like it's different question?
No, it is a presentation for that same question.
Assignment, yeah? Same
Yes,
question.
yeah.
like I have to do.
All the details are available in that video that I've recorded. So have a read through that. But yes, it is about the same thing, same report. You basically have to go and present it and show me how you're basically going to be presenting that work.
So you have to do individually the presentation or
No, it's a group presentation. You need to basically practice it with your group before you come many times to ensure that you're going to basically work as a group, because we need to try to give you the best mark possible. It is not an individual presentation.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
No worries.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
I sent you a message regarding my problem about that cover sheet.
Yeah, I've already answered it. So what I said is, because people haven't actually did the cover sheet, some of them, instead of you guys submitting the file again, and then it's going to show as a late submission, and then you guys get a penalty, there's no point to do that. I will basically expect you to be using the cover sheet for the next assignment, group assignment, so that we don't have to give you penalty if you're going to resubmit it now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, like, sir, I was trying to do the cover sheet also, but I was unable to find the cover sheet.
Yeah, the cover,
the Moodle.
the
Moodle,
well,
that's why.
the cover sheet is never on Moodle. The cover sheet is on the system that is available for students. So if you go to the system of SISCC, and allow me to say, I actually did discuss that in the class a number of times. So you need to make sure you come to my class more often. Please make sure you do. But it is, if I go to the SISC website, and if I go to, if I go to the student section, if I go and log in, I am able to go and find the documents, and in the documents, there's one of the document that is available for the assignment cover sheet. Can you see that?
You haven't shared your screen.
Okay, fair enough. All right, let's go back. So let me just close this so that I can show you that again. So if I go to sisc.com.au and I go to student and I log in there, let's log out. I log into that one page that is available. I go and press student login. I'll be able to go and log in. I'll be able to go to the document section, and I'll be able to go and find the assignment cover sheet under that particular section.
Oh, thank you, sir.
You're very welcome. No problem.
No, we could simply copy and paste the cover sheet in the assignments.
Yeah, well, after you put all your details and do it, you can basically copy it and you can take a screenshot also of it. Any other questions on that?
Sir, is that the same cover sheet we're using for another unit as well? It's the same, yeah?
Yeah, that's the same cover sheet.
Same, yeah. I just used the from the before one. That's right.
Yeah, you just added it to match the details
Your
of this
name,
section.
yeah. I just add your name and stuff like that.
Yep.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No, sir.
So did you see my email address there, sir? I just send you.
No, in the class, I haven't seen it. Is that regarding is there a regarding question
Group.
or an individual inquiry?
Group assessment.
Do you want to ask the question?
No, that's an email for you. Like you want to put it there in the group assignment, right?
Oh, so you emailed the group? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll respond to that. I haven't seen it yet because I'm still in a lecture, but
Yeah.
I'll be checking that a bit later.
Okay, no worries.
No worries. Any other questions on that?
No.
So I just sent you a message. Can you check it over here?
Who's this, Vishal?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no, Vishal, I sent the message to everyone. It wasn't specifically to you. Did I email you or did I email everyone?
I think everyone.
Yeah, no, if it didn't come to you, it was for everybody, and it was also inviting people to come to the class. It wasn't simply about your assignment.
Oh, okay, sir.
Okay, yeah, no, it's all good.
And so I just wanted to ask you, the cover sheet, I just did the whole thing, not the screenshot, but the cover sheet whole.
Yeah, that's fine. No problem.
Fine, right?
All
Yeah.
good.
Yes, sir.
Now,
So
some
when you
people,
put
some people put it as a screenshot because they avoid the similarity for it, and I allow that because for the cover page. That's why sometimes I say no problem. If you want to put the cover page as an image, that's not a problem because then it won't show any similarity for you guys.
Okay.
Go on. Someone was asking a question
So what about my issues, right? I mailed you earlier.
about the.
So your plagiarism.
Yeah, we'll discuss that before we finish.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No, sir.
All right, guys, please make sure you read chapter 7 and chapter 8. Please continue working in the group assignment, which is due in week 10. If there's any problem with your group, please make sure you email them. By today, if you can, and I will basically email them back and say, if you're not going to go and start engaging, we're going to go and change your group by Sunday. So we'll give them the chance to go and engage. And if they don't engage, then we'll basically make the changes to ensure that you guys will continue working on that assignment. But I want to say thank you very kindly for all your time and all your effort. I appreciate all your hard work. Continue working hard. I'll now go and be marking your assignment and see what we can do. Hopefully you get a good outcome. But thank you very much for all your hard work and work very hard for your second assignment.